And of course, one of them is the whole GMO, protest. But right now, what we're seeing is CS Korea actually issued 72 hours notice, and this is to the farmers. Just give me a sec. To do what? To make sure that they release maize. He talked to them when he was in Trans Nzoia and said, listen, we're not doing this because we do not want, your maize. We're doing this because clearly there's a shortage, people are dying, but also give them, an ultimatum, because a lot of farmers, and especially leaders from the region, saying, listen, we have a lot, and especially right now, our farmers are actually in the process of harvesting. So why are we importing, maize from other regions? So 72 hours, which again should have lapsed by now, no? To see the farmers releasing maize. Do you think that is sort of like a fair trade for the CS to say, listen, you only have 72 hours, release the maize, or else we're bringing in the 10 million bags into the country?
Well, it doesn't make sense at all.
Right.
And I think some of these statements should be put within context.
Yeah. I mean, he said being in Kenya already is sort of like a risk in itself. So adding GMO will not.
Those are red flags, and I want to believe that people around him are working day and night to find a way of helping him communicate in a way that is sensitive.
Okay.
I mean, Moses Kuria is a brilliant fellow, a Lower Kabete graduate, great experience. But I think there's a difference between a representative and a legislator and a government servant who is serving in the executive, because you're serving all Kenyans. Kenyans who probably invested so much in producing their maize. And yesterday I got a text from farmers, because we were talking about this on TV. Now the maize that they're harvesting right now, they invested 6,500 for a 50 kg bag of fertilizer.
All right. Now
that price has since gone down because of subsidies. But you see, if you look at their cost of production of what they're investing, the cost of fertilizer was very high. The ones that the ones who have farms that are mechanized had to deal with high cost of fuel, diesel, and you cannot force them to sell their products at a price that does not meet the cost. And now when you threaten them that you will import, now you are threatening the entire country. Because when a farmer has to compete imported maize and sell his maize at a cheaper price, what that does is that it affects the local economy. It means that when you go to the ground, even money that is circulating in this local economy is non-existent, because the farmer who produced is selling at a cheaper price. The ripple effect of the other things that the money would be doing is also affected. And I think this statement that are made by most of these cabinet ministers and cabinet secretaries, we need to look at them from a strategic perspective.
All right.
Who are they going to affect? What are going to be their reactions, and what is the implications? Because that statement is a very big statement, and it doesn't speak to what the plan that UDA had when they were campaigning spoke of. Because they talked of subsidizing production. And I can tell you, when import, what you're doing essentially is you're subsidizing the production of people who are producing in other economies. So there ought to be a conversation and a middle ground to find out what was the cost of production and what would be the minimum,
So like come to a compromise?
Yes, so that you come to a compromise. You don't affect farmers and you don't affect the local economy. But I know the government is in a very tricky situation, because farmers need to be paid handsomely.
Right now, yes.
But then the cost also needs to be affordable.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult balance to maintain.
All right. And of course,